Good morning, students. Let's continue the last topic of the pathogenic disease, that is helminthic disease. Helminthic, helminthic disease are the disease that are caused by the organisms helminths. Now, what are these? Are the worms that are parasitic in nature, and they cause the they are the pathogenic and cause the disease. So first disease that we have to discuss is the ascariasis. Now ascariasis is caused by the parasitic worm Ascaris lumbricoides. It is a helminthic disease that is caused by the worm known as Ascaris lumbricoides. It basically affects the intestine of the man. How it is transmitted? It is transmitted by the vectors like houseflies. And how they are transmitted? These are basically the eggs. There are basically the eggs of the parasite that are excreted along with the fecal matter of the infected person. Now these houseflies and other insects, they sit on the fecal matter and they transmit this to the food, water, fruits, vegetable, etc. Hence causing the transmission from the contaminated food. So ascariasis, it is affected by the Ascaris lumbricoides. It affects the intestine of the man and it is transmitted by the contaminated food, water, fruits, vegetables that are passed by the houseflies like vectors from the fecal matter of the eggs of the parasite of the infected person. Now, what are the symptoms of this ascariasis? First one is the abdominal pain, stomach pain, muscular pain, indigestion, fever, internal bleeding, anemia, that is deficiency of iron, and less RBCs in the body, nausea and headache, and last is the blockage of the intestinal passage. So next one is the filariasis, also known as elephantiasis. So this is also a helminthic disease and caused by the filarial worms. So this is caused by the filarial worms that are Vaucheria bancrofti and Vaucheria malaya. So these are, here the vector is the female Culex mosquito, that is the vector of this disease, and it infects the lymphatic vessels of the lower limbs and the genital organs of the human body. So symptoms are the inflammation of organs where they live. So there is a problem of inflammation where filarial worm are present, abnormal swellings of the lower limbs, and they look like the legs of the elephant. There is the abnormal swelling in one part or more than one part of the lower limbs. Genital organs are also affected and they leads to the deformation, means they leads to the malfunctioning of that particular organ. So next we are discussing about the prevention and control of infectious or the pathogenic disease. Till now we have discussed what are the different types of the pathogenic diseases and how they are caused, what are their symptoms, what is their treatment, and now we will discuss about the prevention and the control measures of the infectious diseases. So the first factor of the prevention and control of the infectious disease is to maintain hygiene. How we can maintain hygiene? We can maintain hygiene in two proper ways. One is the personal hygiene, while another one is the public hygiene. So measures that we keep in mind to maintain the hygiene are, for the personal hygiene, we should keep our body clean timingly, consumption of clean drinking water, foods, vegetables, fruits, proper disposal of waste and excreta, And about the public hygiene, there is periodic cleaning, disinfection of water reservoirs, pools, tanks, and our surroundings. Our environmental areas, our surroundings, we can keep them clean, and hence we can maintain the personal and the public hygiene. So the first factor is the maintenance of hygiene, that is by the two ways, that is personal and public hygiene. So next is the, in case of the airborne disease. Airborne disease are those that are caused due to the air. So in this case, we should not contact with the person that is having an infection. Just like in the case of the common cold, we should avoid that person to come in contact with us. We should avoid to use the things or the belongings of that particular person, and the most important is to maintain personal hygiene. So in case of the vector-borne disease that are caused by the vectors, so most of the vector-borne disease are due to the unhygienic conditions. They are due to the vectors like mosquitoes and the housefly. So the things that we know to use this eradication is, first, control and eradication of vectors and their breeding places. We should control and eliminate them. The vectors, how we can do this? By keeping our places clean, by keeping their breeding areas, proper removal of their breeding areas. For the mosquitoes, you can use mosquito nets. Avoid stagnation of water in and around your residential area. Stagnation of water means पानी को कहीं भी इकट्ठा नहीं होने देना, either in the coolers, in the containers, or any ditches and ponds around you. So regular cleaning of the household coolers, other containers, even the you can say pots and the other things in which the water can be collected. So we have to clean that, all the things. Now in the ponds or the ditches around us, we can introduce the fishes like Gambusia that feed on the mosquito larva. This is the biological method to clean the mosquitoes. Moreover, we can also use the spray of insecticides in the ditches, draining areas, and the swamp around us. So in this way, we can also clean our surroundings. And the last one is the use the door mesh on the doors and the windows of your houses and the other places. Door mesh means जो net door लगे होते हैं, because they avoid the insects and mosquitoes to come inside of your house. So in this way, we can ban the entry of the mosquitoes and the other insects. Next one is the use of vaccination and immunization. Now what are these two terms? These two terms are interlinked with each other. Most of the people think that vaccination means to give injections. No doubt vaccination is given by the injections, it is administered by the injections, but all the injections are not the vaccination. Vaccination means to introduce the weakened or the dead part or the little part of the disease in the body, so that our antibodies, so that our body immunity boosters, whatever are present in our body. So lymphocytes, B lymphocyte, T lymphocytes, we will discuss in the next topic. They will know how this disease react in our body, and how these disease our body has to fight with how this disease. So these are basically the part of a disease that is injected in our body to know how our body work with this. And then actually when the disease come in our body, so these things will know how to control it. So this is known as vaccination. And the immunization process start after the administration of the vaccination in our body. After the vaccination, the work that is our body doing, that process is known as immunization. So various methods and vaccination programs are there to control the disease like smallpox, polio, pneumonia, tetanus, etc. And we can also eradicate these types of disease by using antibiotics and drugs to the infected person. We can treat by providing them with the antibiotics and the drugs, so the infected person can be cured from that particular disease and can get rid of the particular disease. So let's revise the prevention and control of infectious disease once again. Firstly, we can control it by the maintenance of hygiene. Either this is the public hygiene or the personal hygiene. Then in the case of airborne disease, we can avoid the close contact with the person that is infected. In case of the vector-borne disease, we can eradicate and control the vectors in the different ways. After that, we can take vaccinations and immunization program so that we can prevent ourselves from this type of disease. And last, if we get the particular infectious disease, we can use antibiotics and drugs so that we can take a proper treatment of this disease. Thank you, student. That's all about this topic.